Wow. That happened to my face just then.
It did.
And in my ear cannons. Holy crap. Okay. I just want to point out, if they were able to play that live, like, it feels undisciplined, right? Like it's 10,000 styles. But think about hitting all of those time changes correctly,
Right,
which they do
right.
in the recording at least. Like, as a band, that's like prog rock, like prog metal level
Yeah.
time ability. Like, I was actually thinking about Dream Theater a couple of times, right?
Mm.
In terms of just like that sudden time change. Not, I mean, it's not math rocky at all, but as far as
Right.
just making a choice to be in a different place and doing things in a different tempo. This is a kind of band, like, that was fascinating. And as a music enjoyer, I find that to be interesting.
Right.
And like, I would study it, and you can see how it's incredibly useful to later bands, but it's not like, for me, I need something to be a little bit more palatable to like enjoy it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's fair. Yeah, I don't necessarily love it either. What I love about it is, again, just the fact that it is willing to just be whatever the heck it wants to be, that it's
Yes.
clearly not derivative, even though there's moments of it where it's like, oh, that sounds a little bit like early Metallica, or
Right.
that sounds like maybe like Misfits, or
The Clash, maybe?
not Misfits. Yeah, no, not Misfits. What's one? Rancid, maybe.
Rancid.
Some. Yeah. So, but at no point does it feels exactly like they're doing their own thing and they're expressing. And I think that kind of like raw, aggressive energy, is what punk can do really well when it's at its best.
It's interesting to think about the punk, like, there are no rules. Like, if you think about the Ramones, it almost feels like there's a lot of rules, right?
Yes.
For the Ramones.
Yeah,
like,
we're doing surf rock again, kind of. Yeah.
Right, yes. And we're going to do it very fast and in 2 minutes. And
Yeah.
this is just like, there are no rules. And we really mean it. We're going to do whatever we want, like, from moment to moment. It is very, the guitar part is very, like, late 80s. Ibanez kind of, like, weirdly reminded me of Petra a few times in some ways, as far as just the tone of it, which is interesting because that particular sound has really fallen out of favor because it's not as natural sounding as a lot of other stuff before and after. I couldn't catch, like, any lyrics, basically.
Yeah, let me point out a few of the lyrics that really stood out for me really quick. In the first verse, though this doesn't really break down into, like, the chorus never gets repeated. What you think of the chorus?
Yes.
I don't want to have to.
It's just 12 bridges.
Right. But yeah. Let's see. Everybody's only in it for themselves. They just don't care to extend a helping hand to anyone else. Why do you have to lie and try to make me all confused about the USA when the fact of the matter is you just don't care to comprehend a single word I say? That was from the first verse. And then later on it says, who's going to tell the youth about the drugs, the mugs, the bugs, and the police thugs, about the rotten, stinking rackets and the fantasies around the nation. Oh, baby, what you going to do? I tell you the truth is looking straight at you. So there's some good stuff in there too. So
it's such an indictment how, like, of course it makes sense when you think about some of the early origins of the police, but, like, just how long people have been talking about the police being violent.
Right.
And that somehow, even though I was aware of that peripherally, even as a young person,
right,
there was a sense that was incorrect. Like, the fact
yes.
that most black people think the police are a problem, they're just wrong. And and they're all wrong. Well, and it was just sort of baked in.
Right. Well, that is inherently that is glorifying whiteness. The idea being behind that sentiment that I now understand better than I did then is what you're saying in that is, if you behave white, then you will be treated better by the police, which in of itself is a lie. But that was the argument that was being made. Whenever you say, oh, if you just would do this, if you would do that, what you're saying was if you act white,
right,
basically, or celebrate whiteness in that way.
Right, and of course we know that it's still not true. Like,
right.
You know, I love the story. There's a story about Neil deGrasse Tyson with a bunch of physicists recounting stories.
Yes,
of being,
very good.
Being a physicist is a pretty, unfortunately for now, a white thing to be. May it become not white a thing, but yeah. Well, and it comes back to who's going to tell the people about the police thugs from the song there. So
right.
Yeah. A great choice for our list, and powerful set of music. And it's interesting going from really a very gentle beginning in some ways with Chuck Berry, all the way up to like guys that really, really didn't care, and kind of increasingly expressive in that way.
Yes, no, I think you're right. Yeah.
So. Well, awesome. Well, what are we doing next week? Do you remember? So
next week is going to be funk and soul.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit some some funk and soul.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much as always. Thanks especially for the Phil Lynott.
Yeah.
I look forward to checking that out more, and I will see you and the fans next time.
Awesome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.